So we continued with work as usual. And then at around in February, during that period, there was the negotiations as they were continuing in Nairobi. The government announced that because now peace has started, has been restored in the country, and there were no violence ongoing during that month of January and February because of the negotiations to resolve the dispute. So the government had announced that school-going children should be allowed and released to go back to school. So I had my two children, actually the eldest, a girl and a boy. They were in Form 2. Both of them were in Form 2 but in different schools. So, and because I was the only parent, remember, their mother had died in a road accident in 2002 when they were very young. So I had to go personally so that I could take them back to school. And my immediate supervisor, who was the CIO, had given standing orders to the effect that if you want permission to go anywhere, you must give a notice of 2 weeks, because he had a shortage. According to him, he had a shortage of prosecutors. So, as usual, I did the same. I complied. And then I was asked to wait. So I waited. When the time for traveling to the village came, after the 2 weeks notice, so I went to him. I actually passed through my court supervisor, and I informed her that, you see, I requested for permission. Can you inform the boss that I'm now ready to proceed? Because I wanted to proceed the following weekend, which was on 12th February 2008. That was the time I was to travel because the kids were required in school the following Monday. So I went to him. I had requested for 4 days. So the 4 days that I was given, actually he didn't give me the 4 days. He told me that you are not going, you are not proceeding on that off duty. So somehow, as a human being, and considering I was then I was a single parent, I decided to go to the next office, because according to the police rules and regulations, there is that channel of communication. So because he had refused to give me, I didn't argue with him. I just went silently. I went honorably to the next office, which was the office of the deputy OCPD, who was the officer commanding division or district. So I went to his office. I shared my predicament with him. And then after listening to me, he felt that I ought to have been given permission, because he didn't see the reason why this guy was refusing to give me permission. This was in spite of all the frustrations that I had gone through in the hands of this so-called immediate supervisor. So the deputy OCPD, in consultation with his boss, who was now the OCPD, the substantive OCPD of that district, the overall boss of that district or of that county, granted me the 4 days permission. That was including Saturday and Sunday. So I was supposed to have traveled back to station on the following Wednesday, because on Monday I was to spend at home preparing the kids, and then on Tuesday, according to his instructions, I was supposed now to take, because this was the day the pupils or the students were required now to report to school. So I agreed and accepted, because he told me on Tuesday you take them to school, then on Wednesday you travel back to Kitui. On Thursday you report on duty as usual. So I complied. I left his office, went to my house, I prepared, and then the following morning, because as I said, there were no vehicles plying between Kitui and Nairobi at night. So that is the reason why I did not travel at night. Otherwise, if there would have been transport from that end to Nairobi, then I would have traveled at night. So I went to my house, prepared myself overnight, and then the following morning at around 5, I left my house, went to the booking office for the shuttles, the 14-seater shuttles, and then he picked one, and then set off our journey to Nairobi. I arrived in Nairobi at around 10 a.m. and then at around noon, I picked another shuttle from Nairobi Central Business District, traveling to my home village in Kisii County. So, unfortunately, as we were proceeding on our journey now to the village, midway, somewhere before Narok, I was actually seated in front at the near side of the driver. There was another lady who was seated in the middle. So I was seated just at the near side. So the driver received a call while driving, and then he slowed down, he stopped somewhere, and then when he finished talking on the phone, he told us that he has received information to the effect that he should not leave Narok town without police escort, because some people from the local community were on the road between Narok and Sotik demonstrating, and they had lit bonfires along that route. So because we didn't have the power, we told him, okay, let's reach Narok first so that we could decide what to do. So we reached Narok, and then he parked the vehicle at a police station, at a petrol station, or rather gas station. So we waited there. In fact, as we waited, because the petrol station was next to the highway, we could see buses and other vehicles coming whose windows were completely shattered, and some people were crying inside the vehicles because some of them had received serious injuries. So personally, I informed the driver that we could not proceed. It is better that we go to the police station and seek for assistance. So, however, we didn't go. We waited there as many vehicles assembled. So at around 6 p.m., the senior officers of that county had organized for police escort beyond, or along and beyond the affected areas where there were those skirmishes. And this was the first day actually of the second phase of the post-election violence, which was caused by, or as a result of as a result of another traffic policeman had shot a member of parliament from the local community where the skirmishes had erupted dead.